Just a quick little mic test, just to see if everything's alright. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Gavra Racing for a brand new round, social race, of course, for Gavra Racing. So today we are around Silverstone, like yesterday, of course. If you don't know me, or if you have watched me, I am a Viper, who casually races in this league and always wins races, and they're on. So today we are going to be doing the full qualifying session, composed of Q1, Q2 and Q3. So only 15 drivers will go through in this qualifying session. So we've got 80 minutes for drivers to set fast laps, and the 15 drivers with the fastest laps will qualify through to the next session, and the drivers outside the top 15 will go out of Q1. So it's going to be very crucial here, setting these laps. Some drivers going on the mediums, especially Gilston here, going on the medium, setting on a 1:30.7, which is not ideal. He will definitely need to go out again, but today we are going to see who is going to be the pole position holder going into tomorrow's 50% race. As of course we kind of do it like F1 style in real life, as Knight slash thrashes the P2 of Shari, gets a 1:28.5. This man is quick, I'm telling you right now. Himself, you've got Martin as well, who's quick. You've also got Joe J. He's a big one to eye on because he is very, very quick. I definitely expect him. Billy Misu as well. You've got a good amount of fast drivers here, as John Nick goes on Lovefield. A little bit of problems, I think, or he's just letting everybody pass. There's a lot of traffic going into Lovefield. I can see. I'm just pulling the whole grid track on my screen. But hello everybody in the chat. Hey, Shortbread. Hey. But yeah. Currently, we've got Knight Slash in P1 with Shari second, Martin third, Fetz fourth, and Pulek fifth, and continuing to show a strong form, following for the from the yesterday's evaluation race. If you haven't seen that, it was a rain-soaked race, and it was quite interesting to see that. Not a single safety car, which found me very surprised and very happy about that, because of course we want to get the cleanest racing possible here. So yeah, thank you Shawbird also for the Prime subscription of 11 months on a 1 month streak. So thank you very much for that subscription. So we've got currently English Day, I think he's on a lap. No, he's not. So I'm just looking for people on the lap. But now Reza goes even faster and sets a 1:28.3. So that is a very, very decent lap from... Hold on. Okay. Yes, because my plug, my headphone jack has been unplugged, so I'm gonna try and kind of adjust that so it doesn't do that anymore, because of course. But yeah, apologies everybody. But what I was saying when my microphone was off, thank you Gavra as well for updating me. Just keep updating me when anything happens with the mic. But anyway, moving on now. So of course, this is a team cup. This is not F1. Of course, you can kind of really see from the naked eye. This is a team cup event, not a traditional F1 event with, of course, the F1 teams. We've got 4 teams of red striking white liveries. You've got black liveries. You also have blue liveries as well as yellow liveries. Some as Sketch, interestingly, put the McLaren technology livery, which is quite interesting there, but kind of fits in the yellow outfit, but it's kind of an orangey one as it's all at the same time as, of course, McLaren with a traditional orange outfit. So quite of a nice creative livery there from Scazia. But as he has a big moment coming out of onto the Wellington straight. That's a very big moment. I'm going to quickly just put up the stream. As yes, we can see Team Red are really dominating the first spot of qualifying. George still hasn't gone out, which is quite interesting. I think he's holding it to the late phase of qualifying, or maybe he's just trying to go for a last to first. Never know what might happen as VTE 10 Ultra very slow coming out of club. But I think he's just letting everybody pass, just not causing any problems. As I think that is Martin. No, that's Shari on the lap. So let's go on board with Shari at the moment. If the race director can pull Shari on the onboards, but currently we are on board with him. I am on board with him, but early bets. But I reckon, yeah, I think so. You've got Knight Slash, you've got Martin. You have a lot of good drivers, but let's quickly see what Wave Micro can do on board. Currently, he won 7.5 in the middle sector, so I think he is just he is very low on ERS, no battery at all on his rears. Now Billy Misu strikes to the top by a very decent margin with a 127.7, and that is a very, very solid lap from Billy Misu. He improves that by a lot. That should definitely 110% seal him into Q2, so that should be some good feedback there from Billy Misu. Very good lap, and now he can go into the pit and and have a nice time. As now yellow as well, really trying to challenge the red, so maybe he can have a yellow versus red competition. Yeah, but of course as well with this qualifying session, the top 8 will receive points. I think it's 8 points for P1 and then P8 with 1 point. So yeah, quite a nice little addition from Gavra. Also can change the standings quite a bit after the race. So yeah, yellow versus red, but fortunately for yellow. Yeah, exactly. I've got 4 drivers in the top 10 for the red team and only 2 in the top 10. But it seems good for Team Red at the moment. Their pace is very, very displayed as somebody's made a big jump, and I think that was Leo Gondek with a nice lap of a 129.4, and that pulls him into the top 10, just ahead of Pulek, who's I believe is on a lap right now. Or he is. I'm not sure if he's on a lap, but he's getting quite overall. That's Roby at Lovefield, as Jilton as well as on a lap, so he's pulled up to P6. They're very nice from him, really showing that pace, and just outside the top 5 and just ahead of Roby as well by 400, who's actually crashed out. As now John Rick through the final corner, he does it P3. What a good lap from him, and now that pulls him with a 1-2-3 for the yellow team. So we could see some competition here, which is amazing to see. But John Wick really doing good, especially with Billy with that monstrous of a lap, with yellow currently leading by quite some margin, if I'm going to be honest, but quite close margins from 2nd to 4th, with just around a 10th between them. So anything can really happen. There's a white car, I believe that's back. I think that's Jossing spinning at the back. I don't know what's happened. Nah, you should be safe, because you've got a 1 second, 1.5 second gap, so that's too high of a gap for you. So that is very good. There's no need though. But we of course following yesterday. It was quite nice, entertaining, some great racing as well. Jock J, what is he gonna go out, or is he gonna go for a last to first? Terry Teddy's coming on the lap, so he's as well in the lap. But let's go with on board with the steps. VRBS verbs. I don't know VRBS. I'm just say the steps because it's easier for me to say. As now he's going through Mackett's and Becker's, trying to get the car nicely positioned, as it is very difficult to do so. Twice. Oh wow. Okay, Joe J. So you know what to do. You can of course report the incidents to the steward room, and they will look at the incidents and give penalties if it's necessary. But Scazia improved my 6/10. What's a improvement? I think he was on the mediums at the start of his first lap. But let's carry on going on board with the steps, and he actually goes up to P9. So that puts him in the top 10, quite on some pressure. He has now. Some drivers could go out of Q1, some big names possibly, but J needs to go absolutely. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the time is because of the yellow flags in sector 3. As someone who's really slowing down, I think that might be one of Shari Night Slash. I think that is Shari. No, that is Puleg. Who's I'm gonna start his lap, I believe. He's recharging that battery and he's gonna go for a run as Teddy pulls it up to P6, just in the sandwich of the team red of Night Slash and Shari. So mental is yes, actually very, very, very interesting, as now J needs to show himself some firepower in that red team car, as otherwise if he does not get out of Q1, it's going to be very, very, very a big pile of misery for the red team, as J is one of the fastest drivers in this league, if I'm going to be honest, and J can really do good in this lap. He is strong, but let's see, can he actually do a good lap? We've got Profanity Evil currently on the lap, through Club and nicely through the first sequence of corner. Now onto the Wellington straight, we go with Profanity, really striking that blue livery, and now he's currently down by a 10.5, so he needs to improve this lap, otherwise it's gonna be absolute chaos for him, as he's currently P17, so he's on the cusp of being eliminated in the first qualifying session. Of course, nobody wants to be eliminated, so it's very important to push the car through every section. But Profanity really does stow nice, cops nicely, but that ERS is at 0, so he can't really maximize the power in that engine behind this car. But currently through Waggers and Beckett, he's done it quite nice. He's 5/10 down, so I think it might be over for Profanity, as he's got absolutely no battery to save, and it's just pretty much over for the blue livery driver. They've got 3 blue livery drives outside the top 10, so it's going to be very difficult. But we've got English Dave, who's going to try and improve his time. Currently I'm going to put my mic a little bit away, as now Jossing as well is going to try and lap. I don't know if it's going to register as a lap or not, but J now, yes, Gavra is on board with him, but now J through as a 104.3, not the purple sector, so Billy Me has now somebody ahead is blocking him, possibly kind of bit of traffic for J, and he is staying, as that traffic has got to get out of the way, which he does. And that is another victim of traffic everywhere for J, as now through the final corner, is it going to be? It's going to be a P6, which should be able to take him into Q2 quite comfortably, just behind Night Slash. But what a lap from Billy Misu, absolutely mental from the yellow team driver. But we've got Teddy, who's yet to set a lap, but he's going to finish. He's going to go into the pits now, as we can see. We got VT10 who's finished, so that is going to be the end of Q1 if Teddy finishes his lap. I'm just going to quickly just wait. But yeah, all the red team are through by quite, which is a very positive message. But now we're going to quickly, yeah, I saw that, Georgie. Traffic tap paradise for the red team driver. Now we will go to see what the actual results are. But Marcin's got a 5 position grid penalty. Whoa, So that's interesting. But Billy Misu currently P1 with Reza second, John Wick third, Martin fourth, Night Slash, Joel J, Terra Teddy, Shari, Fetz, and Joe Ilston complete the top 10 with Roby, the Steps, the Leo, Pulek, and then Jossing making it through with English Dave just about behind Jossing there with VT10 Ultra, Profanity, Scatcher, and then Rave Micro being eliminated from Q1. So now we've got Q2, so 15 minutes of qualifying now, and only 10 drivers make it through now onto the final qualifying session of Q3, where whoever gets P1 to P8 will be rewarded points, which is a very, very nice treat for the drivers. So let's see who is going to be the main part of this session. If anything can happen, yeah, it is cloudy since the start of qualifying. It has been a little bit overcast, so could that possibly suggest some sort of rain? But some drivers are placing on the mediums, and some drivers are leaving the garage. Now, as you can see, a team black of, I think that's either Fetz or the Steps. So we only got so currently we're gonna quickly just run down who went out and who went through in sort of teams. So 3 yellow cars made it through, with all of the red team making it through, with only 2 blue teams making it through. 2 black teams, and 3 of the black team are as well through, and 2 white teams, so not too bad for the red team, and also for the yellow team. So they're going to be trying to get all those cars through into Q3 if they can, but it's going to be very difficult as margins can be very tight. Expecting rain in 10 to 15 minutes, so rain is going to be inbound, so drivers have to set up soon whilst the conditions are as they are. So we could see a wet Q3 which can decide pole position. So remember, we're not moving on to the Grand Prix. That is going to be tomorrow on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I had nothing, and on Friday of course we got a GT Sport season open, I believe, around one of the tracks. I'm not my knowledge on GT Gran Turismo is not very good, as I don't play the game, but as you can see, every driver on track is out on track, as now some drivers slowing down just to try and get try and not be in traffic at all. Traffic especially will be Joel J's big enemy, as you can see he's going to try and reduce traffic. As now let's see who Gavra is on board with, but I want to go with this lap on board with let's go with Leo. Let's go with Leo Goldneck actually. Let's see what can he do in his blue livery cars. Now let's see through. Now we've got DRS open on that blue team car through Wellington Straight, and now currently of course he sets the purple sector because he is the first driver to cross the first sector, and of course you've got Roby behind him who's going to try and be faster than him. Leo nicely on the exit on the curb, and then through, taking a short line so you could get the best amount of times, getting all that time possible, and then kind of going a bit too deep into cops, but all decent at the moment from Leo is now through. Maggots and Beckett's really difficult to get it through. As you can see, nice use of the curb, but understeers on the exit, can manage to keep the car in the straight line. Now through the hangar straight, and now through Stowe. Now very quick corner the drivers have to go through. As you can see, Leo touched a little bit of the grass there, so he is pushing hard on this lap. As you can see, through now the final corner goes Leo, and that is going to be a 129.4, which the drivers have to chase. Roby instantly improves that and goes to a 29.2. Pulek does improve, gets ahead, but Shari with a 28.7, very good lap from him. What can Reza do? He improves it by 500ths with Night Slash Who else is going to be on the line? Jossing has invalidated Gilston through Vale Chicanas. Oh my god, Vinimisu, as he goes like 8/10 faster than Reza, as though Jogje squeezes between the team yellow and takes P2 at the moment, with as now Night Slash goes up to P2, so the team red are fighting. It's a real fight between them as John Wick settles in for P4, as now we still got multiple drivers. Martin has slowed down because of an invalidation. Fett currently P14, I believe. Is he on the lap? Yes, he is on the lap. So let's go on board with Fett if Gavra has him. Yes, he does. So let's go on board with Fett for a lap around Silverstone. So currently at 27.8, which is a very good first sector. So Fett is going to try and keep the car into a nice shape. As you can see, taking a short line, you will expect to see a lot of drivers doing that. As you can see, Fett's really pushing the car through cops, and he's got some traffic ahead of him, which might hinder his progress. As you can see, the yellow team car getting nicely out of the way of Fett, and Fett can continue with his lap without any troubles, as now Fett's currently really doing decent in this lap. But through Stowe goes Fett, as you can see, goes a bit wide though and deep into the corner. But as you can see, that white team car, I think he had a bit of a moment out of Stowe. But now Fett through the Vale chicane, trying to get the exit in and put the power and through to the line as he has a big moment, and he invalidates. Oh well. I think Fett's just got absolutely annoyed and just had to, and yeah, it's pretty much as Fett leaves, as of course that is not very good for Fett. He's probably very angry as Martin shoots up the P4, and that's going to be him through to Q3. As I thought the rain started there for a second, but we've still got Jossing. Terra Teddy's currently on the lap with a 27.8, 4.3 purple middle sector for Terra Teddy. He seems to be going very well currently. As now, let's see, can Terra Teddy manage to keep the car? As you can see, nicely through Stowe, trying not to get the car onto a bad position and trying not to invalidate, especially because if he invalidates, it's gonna be very bad. As now, as you can see, it says a 28.4, which is going to be P4 for the blue team driver. Yeah, he is pulling. He's really doing good around here. He's giving it all currently, as that should definitely set him to Q3. As currently we've still got, so drivers still have time for another lap before the rain soaks Silverstone. As yes, he is pulling really good laps though. He is. He's on his absolute mission to take that win. Tomorrow night, of course, at 8 PM. Make sure you tune in for that event. But we still got around 30 minutes to go through qualifying and very good laps around Silverstone. So stay in here and watch the chaos emerge in qualifying. Of course, as you can see, that is Terra Teddy really slowing down there. Trying not to get in anybody's way, of course. Through cops, it's a very dangerous corner if you're going wheel to wheel with someone, because of course remembering Hamilton and Verstappen colliding into cops on the first lap, which ultimately ended in very big controversy. I was driving a bit slow because I got to lap in. Excuses, no, I'm joking. But yeah, of course, I would do the same as well. Just try not to get invalidation, try and get a lap on the board, and then of course try and improve on it if Georgie will go out again. But yeah, Georgie does manage to get P3, which should be good, which should be good enough for him to go 3 into Q3. But yeah, So whilst a lot of drivers setting laps, so let's go on board with Reza if Gavra's on board with Reza, P7 at the moment, and let's see, can he improve that lap time? But he is doing very well. As thank you, Gavra there, very appreciated. And now he goes through Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to push the car as much as he can because he is kind of under risk from elimination, and he needs to set a good lap. And he sets the purple middle sector, so that means he is doing a very good job. And can he now just get it all together in the middle sector as he has a bit of a moment there? So the rear tire is screaming for some peace as now through a final chicane, aka the Vale chicane, and that is going to be P2 as he shoots up ahead of Light Slash by 400th of a second, which should be good enough for him to get to Q3 as Leo has retired for some odd reason, and that's him out of Q qualifying as well with Fett. As yeah, 1, 2 for the yellow team. John Wick also on a lap, so let's see what he can do going through Maggots and Beckett's, but he is slowing down, so I think he's just on an in lap unless he is actually going for it. I think he is going for it, I'm not sure though. But yeah, he is up on his time, so let's see what he can do. Now only watch him go to the pits. I knew it. I knew. He was improving, so I thought as Jolja retires, so I think that should be all good for him. That won't pull him out of qualifying, of course. He stayed where he is. But currently the gap is around 2.5 tenths from Reza to Billy Misa, so the gap has reduced to an extent. But we've still got some drivers going for laps and trying to improve their position, especially Pulek, who is in P11 with 400th to Roby, who's currently under risk from getting out. But of course, the red team supporting him as they need him through Q3. There's currently 3 drivers into Q3. They want to make it 4 drivers, as only 400th that settles that debate, which can be very, 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 very difficult to do. We've still got some drivers like Joshing, who's around 2 tenths off Robbie. He can still improve from that, however. But yeah, I think some drivers are going out on track. There's not a lot of activity was going on the track at the moment, but I'm going to quickly recap from yesterday. Not of course that stream I was talking about, me racing with F1 esports drivers. I'm not going to go into that, but about the evaluation race yesterday. It was a very, very clean, very, very good race from all the drivers, with I believe it was Reza taking the victory, as it's Oompa Loompa, yes. Yeah. Anyway, just what I was saying, pretty much. What was I saying? Basically, Reza took the wing in that Grand Prix yesterday in the evaluation race, which I was racing right now. Can't lie. Yeah, I was gonna race, but of course, why not just commentate and see how it goes? And it's going very decent at the moment. I'm enjoying it. We still got 1 minute, so the rain hasn't come. So that means that there's pretty much just no raining coming. Maybe it's Q3 we might see some mixed conditions, but you never know what happened. Like 4 tenths down. He's 800ths up in the first sector as he goes off track, just avoids invalidation. He needs to gain around the 10th and a half if he wants to secure himself into Q3. He needs to push the car as he's trying to get a car. This car slides a little bit and he's only 800ths down, so it's very close for Pulek to try and get into Q3. It's very difficult for him, as now Sketch has left the session as no, he's spun. going into Stowe, and that might be his Q3 dreams over and done with, as that. The fact that I'm within 1 second of the leader is amazing. Yeah, very good achievement. Congratulations, but super unfortunate, and that might lead Pulek out of Q3, as Roby as well just improved by 3 milliseconds. As you can see, Roby is really pushing a car. He wants to consolidate that P10, and he wants to get even more positions. Possibly he's still improving though. As sets a purple middle sector. I know that's not a purple middle sector, but through Stowe we go with Roby now. Yeah, top 11 qualify for the evaluation. Qualify because I went. It would be 10, but now it's 11 because I decided to commentate. But now, as Roby just about off that time, Jostin retires as well. Justin crosses the line. Pulek cannot improve that lap, and then we have John Wick. As it's raining, it is raining. You can see the drops, and it is raining right now. As you can see through the driver's cockpit, it is raining. Yes, some of the drivers here have qualified from the evaluation race from yesterday. The evaluation race is pretty much a race where you just get tested if you're clean and if you're safe and that, and whoever gets into the top 10 will automatically qualify for the proper race tomorrow or the next day, if it was, for instance. But that is the end of Q2, and then yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough time. I think it's going to be just straight off into conditions. But so out of Q2 we have Mr. Pulek by 400th. So last time out, I think it was I'm not sure who it was, but yeah, English Dave. He was off by, I think it was Roby by 13 milliseconds from his spots in Q2, and our Pulek is 400ths off Roby in Q2, so very close margins. And then Jossing P12 just sitting there as now 10 milliseconds ahead of Leo there, so very close margins here, with Justin 14th, and then Fetz after purposely crashing after invalidating his lap at the last corner, and just a dead last corner, he crashed. So I don't really want to go in context with that, but that is the grid. Not the grid. Next qualifying session will be the grid. As now we've got Billy Miso P1, with Reza taking second, with Night Slash third. So it's very close between the red team and the yellow team. So it's level pegging between them. Terry Teddy taking fifth, with Martin sixth, Shari seventh, and John Wick 7th, Shari 8th, the Steps 9th, and then Roby just about qualifying into Q3, with Pulek, Jossing, Leo Gondek, Jostin and Fetz eliminated out of Q2. So now it's gonna be a big qualifying session here, and the most important, as now it's going to be raining for this qualifying session, so it's going to be very interesting to see what drivers will do. Is the track going to be soaked? We need to see very soon, as it is soaked, I think, so it will be into conditions, I believe, but we need to see the tyres. It is into conditions, so it will be a top 10 shootout for whoever's got a very high downforce setup. Pretty much, as if you have a higher downforce, you have more grip on the inters, as now drives leaping out of the pits and trying to get laps onto those time sheets. It's going to be very close. Yeah, exactly. I think it will be very close between the Team Red and Team Yellow. Maybe Team Black or Blue will try and maybe contest. Of course, you've got two Team Black drivers into Q3, one Team Blue driver in Q3, and then you've got 4 in Q, and you got 4 and then 3 in Q3. So it's gonna be down to the line if you're gonna try and get that lap in. But as you can see, the track is quite wet. Yeah, exactly. If there was gonna be rain tomorrow, then it would be very crucial. Like, of course, if drives can have a wet setup on, and still because there's no park permit for the next race, because there'll be a race straight after this, that wouldn't affect them. So whoever going to Q3 and has a wet setup, they're pretty much possibly in the throne of touching pole position onto their hands. So it's going to be important, these first laps. You've got 10 minutes left on the clock, only 9 more minutes to go for Q3, and then you'll see who will become the pole sitter for tomorrow's Grand Prix of 26 laps, 26 or 27 laps around Silverstone in dry wet conditions. No clue, but now let's see Night Slash on his first lap. He's going to be one of the contenders of pole position. Let's see what he can do in his first lap. As you can see, trying to cut the track very heavily as he wants to get that exit nicely done. As you can see, through this very short and very kind of interesting kind of sequence of corners. Sometimes stuff can happen, especially spinning or oversteer through the sausage curbs, and also traction is now through the Wellington Straight. Yes, there are no white drivers. I didn't mention any white drivers, white team drivers. As now Night Slash currently doing a decent first sector, 30.0, as currently now Night Slash really trying to get the car nicely through that corner there, and now through cops. It's going to be difficult as the drivers need to kind of bite into the asphalt with the front tires, especially to get that grip, to get adjusted to the grip. So these drivers have been adjusted to that dry grip, and now they have to adjust to the inter grip for these remaining laps. So everybody's on a lap except for Billy Musu, who is starting one at the moment, and it's going to be very interesting to see who will become the pole sitter for tomorrow's race. Hey Josh saying, good evening, can't wait for tomorrow, got track limits on my hot lap. That's very unfortunate. Some drivers did also get invalidations for their laps as well as now Lights has set the time sheet to 136.1. Now what can I think that's Martin respond? He's not invalidated, Roby has, but what can Martin reply with? And it's a big gap of 7/10. Shari P2 with 5/10 to him, so Night Slash put a mega lap from him. But now what can so now through you got Breza now through the Vale chicane. What can he do? As now he rounds the final corner, can he take pole position provisionally as he settles in for P2? So I think Billy Misu might maybe try and do some damage. You got George through. As you can see, he's really struggling as he manages to set a 36.3. And now, who else is going to need to settle up? Nobody else but Billy Misu with a purple window sector, but I think he is not on the lap at the moment. Yes, he is not. But will he go for another lap, or is he going to go in? He's going to go out. So we're going to go on to a full onboard lap with Billy Misu 31 through the final corner, trying to of course get that invalidation, but as you can see, Cleveson nicely off the track, and now we want to see what he will do as he goes a bit wide, as that is going to really slow him down as he slows down, I think. So he is going to a bit of problems for Billy Misu, we can see for him at the moment, which is very, very bad for his kind of pace. but we still got 6 minutes left of qualifying, and then that's going to be finish, and that's going to be calling it a day for today. And then tomorrow we'll have the main race for tomorrow. So I'm going to try and hopefully see who will become in the top 8. So currently Billy Misu will have 1 point against their name, and then Night Slash with 8 points. So of course P1 will have 8, P2 7, and then goes each position goes down each point, which of course you can see through that. But yeah, it should have been here. Of course, if you are in the Discord of Gavra Racing, of course you can register for social races, as they are hosted weekly. But of course, that might slowly not be weekly, as of course the Weekend League Season 12 is coming up very soon. In which there are a lot of fast drivers, a lot of very clean drivers, and there's a lot of competition to be seen throughout the season, which is very good to see. But we've got currently Redza, I believe he's on the lap. He's 3/10 down the first sector, so I don't know if the rain is getting worse. But Redza kind of struggling through Maggots and Beckets there, so I think it's just the rain just getting slightly worse. As you can see, he loses a lot more time, so it's gonna be very replacement for tomorrow. So yeah, just in case somebody joins some cannot make it, then of course you can join tomorrow and replace them. So we got currently steps into the pits. No laps at the moment, but still Night Slash trying to get some laps in. As you can see, I think he's just trying to practice a little bit. But as you can see, 4/10. I don't know if he's saving battery. I think he is. I'm not exactly sure, but and I think he's on a lap. Yeah, he is on a lap. Night Slash, and John Wick as well is on a lap, who's still due to set a lap. It's a 10.6. So currently, possibly maybe into top 5, maybe outside. I'm not sure exactly where that would set you, but still now through the final corners, I should say, as through the Vale chicane goes John, kind of curb a little bit interestingly, and I'll get that power down, and it's going to be a 37.0. So I think the rain's getting worse, if I'm going to be honest. So I think Night Slash might have it secured here. Wow, this is very interesting, as we've got 2 minutes left, and Billy Misu, he needs a lap in very soon, so Night Slash might just get pole position, unless, because I think the rain is getting worse, I think, because of how the times have been set, as also, I think that's Billy Misu there, passing, Joel J there, who's Billy Misu. He is on the rash. He wants to try and get maybe the 2 possible laps in before. So I think he's on a 2-lap run, but Billy Misu needs to get a big move on. Yeah, Night Slash. Yeah. I don't think you are able to improve, but we'll see. Never know what can happen, but currently Billy Misu's on a lap, so he is the main target, as well as Joel J, to see. But are the conditions worse? I want to see Joel J, but currently with his timings, but we're going to go mainly on board with Billy Misu to see what he can do in the yellow team livery, as now through the Wellington Street. Goes a bit wide though, but manages to stay in validation. He probably is up. He's going to be up by 3/10, but Joel J, is he going to be up on his time is the big question, and he's down by 10th. So is that going to show that he is currently rain is getting worse, as now As now through Cops goes Billy Meese, who's giving it everything now on the track. But you can maybe go P10. Maybe you've got Roby. As you can see, the rain is getting a lot worse. As you can see, the drivers are struggling for grip. At this moment in time, Billy Meese gets a little bit of a moment out of the exit, as now he's 4/10 up on a current time. So at the moment, that will put him around P9, P8. So Billy Meese having a nightmare of a session here, as that is not the best for him. Through the final chicane goes Mr. Billy Meese, as now he wants to get a best exit possible if he wants to try and maybe secure P9, as now through the final corner he manages to seal P9, and that is very unfortunate for Billy Meese. That is the end of qualifying for him. He cannot improve unless he has some time. But yeah, Joel J as well. So I think Night Slash might be lucky enough to take a pole position here, as drivers are slowing down massively here. So as you can see, the time 1.3 seconds. So the rain is getting worse. So that means your man Night Slash will take his pole position around Silverstone and will take a very nice 8 points. Yeah, the wet changed a lot. As Billy Meese all the way down in P9, he's not going to have that for tomorrow. He's going to try and recover tomorrow. His pace is absolutely electric speed in the dry, but in the wet he didn't really show that. But tomorrow anything can happen. If the weather is not going to be dry, then not sure what's going to happen, but it's going to be very entertaining. But that was a nice qualifying session to be commentating. Of course, not going to finish right now. We've got to finish to see if anyone can maybe somehow improve their laps, but I don't see anyone improving. Joel J still trying to go for a lap, and 4 red in top 5 exactly. So the reds are dominating the yellows, 1 in P3, 1 in P6, and 1 P9, like the 3 times table. But that is not the best for the yellow team. They need to regroup and maybe try and fight back the red team. But it's not a good day in the office for the yellow team. But on in the red team, it's a very good day in the office. You got 4 reds in the top 5. Very good laps from everybody. But that is the end of qualifying. But we're still going to go through the results and let everybody know what the rundown for tomorrow is going to be for the race. So you're going to see who else. And so it's just Joel J and Billy Meese who just need to get into the pits, and there we go. That is the end. Yeah, going out first is the key to having the best conditions and the best grip. That is very certain. But you have got Mr. Night Slash on pole position with a very solid lap of a 136.117, with Joel J taking second after a bit of a miserable start to Q1, with traffic really hindering his opportunities for taking a lap. But P2 will do for the Dutch driver, with Reza in P3. The only yellow driver in the top 5, which is not the best for him. Shari in P4, Mars in P5, four reds in the top 5, which is absolutely sensational for them. John Wick in P6, Terra Teddy 7th, and then you've got the steps. Billy Meese, unfortunately, after conditions, really screwed him over. P9, and Roby finishes off the grid in P10, and that is qualifying, full qualifying finished for you. But a nice pole. Oh, Martin is, but yeah, that's going to be everything. Thank you everybody for joining. So tomorrow there will be a 50% race, 27 laps or 26 around Silverstone. Wet or dry, I've got no idea. It's just the game's decision, and the grid will be set on what happened today in the results, and then the points will be given as well from 1st to 8th will be rewarded points. But that's everything from me. Yes, because you're the red, I assumed you were on the red team. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you. Thank you. But thank you everybody for watching, and I wish you a good evening. And that's from Viper myself. And see you everybody tomorrow for the main race.